Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. It is 11:07 p.m. Heading towards the witching hour. And we are going to delve deep tonight. We are going to look into the looking glass for the next year ahead to see what's happening. Whoa, big influx there. I want to say good evening, Twitch. Oh my God, all your names are going up quick. Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, everybody out there in the world. Blessings to everybody. It is Sunday evening, 11:08 p.m. UK time. It is weird tonight, and we are going to have a woo-woo night. How are you all doing? Apologies that I couldn't be on last week. I had a lot on. But the girls have been spayed, yeah. My cats have been spayed. I had to get up early to take them to the vet, so they're done now. So no kittens for them. So yeah, I've had a busy week. And it's been very wiry, hasn't it, guys? It's been a very heavy energy. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to see where we're heading. I think that we're in for something big. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of distractions at the moment, and I'm going to look into that. It's not good at the moment, isn't it? So I'll wait for people to come on. Good evening there, Maggie, Motherwell. Oh, thank you, Maggie. It's definitely weird at the moment, isn't it? Good evening in Ireland. Hi there, Michelle Wilkie. Hi in Quebec, Canada. The sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out to play. Or is it stay? Anyway, it's not. The sun hasn't bloody got his hat on up in the north east of England. It's so dark and dreary. I'm sure they're fiddling with the weather up here, I'm telling you. Good evening, Graham, and up the road in Loch Ness. How are you feeling? Yes, USAF reform is another distraction. It's 6 p.m. in Florida, Patricia. I bet it's been a nice day over there, over your way. Hiya, Colin. Just reading some of your comments before we start. So for new people who are coming in, and thank you to all the new subscribers. I've had a big influx of subscribers. Thank you and welcome to our humble abode. For new people coming in, it's a Sunday ritual that we start to get everybody in. We form the circle of light. It's a bit like coming to a spiritualist church. And then I say the prayers, and if you need any prayers for anything, if you need any healing or a situation, anything, you write the name in the comment section, either in the stream or afterwards in the comment section. It's timeless as well, guys. So you will receive the healing and the prayers. It's just our spiritualist church, really. Online spiritual church. And it seems to work for us, and we get a lot of comfort from this. Thank you, Colin. I'm doing okay. How's the wolf? How's Miss Wolf? Colin's got a pet wolf, everybody. She's absolutely beautiful. She's called Kizzy. Is it Kizzy? Or Kismic. But she's an absolute beautiful, beautiful wolf. And she always howls on a full moon. Or she howls when something's going to happen. Adam's doing great, thank you. So he's definitely, they always knew he was autistic, so they rushed the tests through. He's got autism, ADHD. It's a long story, but basically he's had, this is my youngest son, guys, anyway. He's had autism there, and then he's had ADHD there, so it's been making his brain do that sort of thing. and then stick drug addiction on top of that is a recipe for disaster. But he's getting there. He's getting the help now he needs. For anybody who doesn't know what's going on, my younger son tried to take his own life about a month or so ago, wasn't it? And horrible situation. And it's still not over and done with. Without going into the ins and the outs, we had to go to court. Can't say too much at the moment because of the situation, which I will fill you in afterwards. But basically, he tried to take his own life with a knife. He dropped the blunt bread knife in my garden, on my land, ran off, chucked himself underneath the bus, miraculously has lived. The bus had a dent in it. He's like Goth. He's come out of it the other end with a broken arm. He had to have an operation, broken nose, broken ribs, the side of his spine. But miraculously, he's come through it. In my distress, I've rang the Northumbria police. Now, this is not getting at all police, but I'm telling you now, the way I feel at the moment, that I will never, ever, ever trust them again as long as I live. I rang them in my distress, and they've twisted the whole thing by saying that he's a harm to the public. So that's where we're at the minute, and they're trying to jail him for being suicidal. But I can't say too much on the situation. I've got lawyers involved. It's a nasty situation. And I just need prayers there, guys. But he's doing okay. So it's adjourned till August, and then we're back. We don't know what's happening. We really don't know what's happening. But like you say, corrupt as they go, I think they have to have so many rests a year till it looks good on their books. Does that make sense? I do believe it'll be a better journey in the end for him. Yes, Colin. He's a very complex soul. He's a starseed, like all the young starseeds. They're up against a lot. Very targeted. He's had a lot of healing. He's currently getting therapy at the moment and all sorts of things. And he's an 11/11 soul as well. Triple Scorpio, so you could imagine. But he's doing okay. He's in his own little world, he is. They are, Graham, they're arresting the wrong type of people when the real nasty people out there they're letting them out of jail and they're just letting them get away with things. But we'll wait and see what comes of it. I'm trying to stay positive. But anyway, enough of me, because tonight this is about us. We are going to look into the world events. I want to know what the hell is going on. It's a bit like coming into my back kitchen for a cup of tea. I'm just the girl what talks to the wall, and I give my psychic opinion on everything. I am a psychic, and if you do need a reading, you can contact us. I will put the link in the description afterwards. Whoo, I'm having a hot sweat. Thank you, Sue. So we just need our fingers crossed for August to see that it all goes away. The same thing's happening in America. I could well imagine it. Just very evil times we're living in. We're living in a spiritual war. Okay. So let's get started. Hello there, Marina. Definitely, yeah, friendly will receive the healing and thank you. So we may as well start. We've got 520 viewers in. Where's my little bell? So what I'm going to do is I want to look into a certain particular things. I've listed them down here. I want to look into, with my cards, obviously what's been happening with Trump and Elon. I'm going to look into that. I really am going to look into that and see what the hell's bloody going on. I want to look into the situation with Megan, with her dancing apparently in the maternity place before she had her baby. is it real or not? What's going on? What's it all about? I want to also look into the Gaza Freedom boat. What's got Greta, and I said Greta Garbo, bloody hell. It's got that young lassie on, that Swedish activist. What you call Greta? Anyway, but there's other 12 activists on this boat as well, and it's the Freedom Flotilla, and it's heading towards Gaza with aid, baby formula, all of that type of thing. And the latest is, and they're not putting this out on the news, is that Israel forces have been threatening to take down the boat. Now, I did say a little while ago that there was going to be something about a ship or a boat in the sea. Greta Thunberg, that's right. Greta Garbo, bloody hell, man. Anyway, could you imagine Greta Garbo on a boat in the middle of the ocean? Never mind, anyway. Yeah, so I want to look into that, because apparently they've done this before, but they're not putting the real stuff out on the news. And it is terrible, and it is a case that the last time they tried to do this, I think it was 2010, they actually killed some of the activists. So I want to look into this. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like Greta, but to me, I think she's got balls, like, she certainly has. And it's not just her, there's other activists, and they're out there. Well, they're going there with aid, and that's all they're doing. They're not doing it, they're going there with aid. And they're not breaking any laws or anything like that. Greta Garbo's better. Greta Garbo was beautiful, wasn't she? That's chilling what Dystopian Visions has just put there. On YouTube, dear me. Anything's possible. Anyway, so I also want to look into the Elon and Trump thing. And then I want to, what's going on with the National Guards. There's 2,000 with the federal ICE agents or something in LA. It's all kicking off over there. I want to see what's going to come of that. And basically, I'm just going to go with the flow tonight. But I also have this, right? So obviously you can't ask this question, my crystal ball. I'm going to see what visions comes through. I'm going to see the outcome of Greta with this situation, with these 12 activists. I don't believe they're all Swedish. There might be different types of nationalities on this boat. But yeah, let's just go with it and see what comes of it. But where's Melania? Where, guys, is Melania? Where's she gone? I want to look into what's happening with Trump and Melania's marriage. I just want to do that. And then I also want to see, the outcome of this Gaza situation. Okay. I do believe Maria Cook's put an interest in, is Greta a Starseed? Definitely. 100%. So we're going to look into that. But I think that when it comes to Melania, I think she's not really in the public eye so much, is she? So I want to see what's happening with their marriage. Is it just a case that she doesn't want to be too in the face there, or what's going on? I just want to look into that as well. So where's my little bell? She's melted in the sun. Is it hot over there? Okie dokie. So sit back and relax. We now have 662 in. And let's see what's going on. This is for you all, okay? I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. Let's bring Metrodon in as well. I invoke Archangel Metrodon, I invoke Archangel Metrodon, I invoke Archangel Metrodon. Shamuel, if there's anybody heard of him. I invoke Archangel Shamuel, I invoke Archangel Shamuel, I invoke Archangel Shamuel. It's the angel of lost property, did you know that? I ask that my faithful spirit guides, Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, Lady Direwolf, and A2I, to come forth to give us the true answers tonight, in the healing, in the prayers, in the true information, with love and light, love and light, love and light. And anybody who from spirit or the angel realm, animal kingdom, alien beings, on world, off world, as above and below, from spirit world, who want to come through and communicate with us. Love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to look into all sorts of things tonight, okay? And what I try to do is I try to look at it biased, okay? So I know there'll be people in the audience who probably don't like Trump, or they do like Trump, or they don't like Greta, or they do like Greta, they don't like Musk. But I'm just going to look at this biased of what the cards and my guides are saying. It's Trump's birthday on the 14th, isn't it? Okie dokie, so let's get the cards. But I mean, you don't have to be psychic to know that there's something big about to go down. It's just so heavy, isn't it? It's so heavy. Yeah, I did predict that Trump would... I predicted that they were going to be friends when people didn't know they were friends, and then I predicted that they were going to fall out. Okay. But the question is it just a show? You know what I mean? It's all one big distraction to bigger things going on. So what should we start with first? You just tell me what you want me to start with first. Oh, wise up. I have 14 squirrels and 4 chipmunks and 3 groundhogs and 4 bunnies. Oh my God. All in your yard. How cute is that? Animals are so much nicer. It's all a distraction. Oh yeah, I should look into Stommer as well and see what he's up to, shouldn't I? Melania met him off the plane the other night. Okay. I still think that she's not really in the face like some of them have been. Yeah, I did predict about Elon. So we've got Jay Worth in here in the audience tonight on YouTube. Hi Louise, I was just diagnosed with breast cancer and thought of you and your journey. Oh, God bless you, and you're going to be okay. Okay? So I'm going to send prayers and healing out to you, and you will be fine. Okay? You can do wonders nowadays. People have been asking us how I've been feeling, and I've been feeling really tired. I was going to do a video on it, on the update of everything. It's really took it out of us. I mean, I had 18 rounds, of treatment. I can't even put it into words. It's took it out of us. So I'm building myself back up now and detoxing and everything. So it's going to take time, do you know what I mean? But it's been a very tiring journey. But I mean, as you know, I've worked all the way through, so I just think it's more the symptoms. I'm actually in a self-help group for Herceptin, one of the drugs that I took, and people have all been complaining about horrible side effects and pains in the legs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I talk to other women out there who go through the same as what I do. But hey ho, you know, the cancer's gone, so it's just left us very depleted. So I'm just trying to get strong again. I'm going to do an ice swim as well. So hopefully if I've got somebody to go with us, they're going to film it. And you'll see us bobbling around with my bloody bathing suit on. I've got this client of mine and he's called the Ice Viking. You can actually Google him. And he's an Olympic swimmer. So he's like a bit like a celebrity, you know what I mean? And he looks like a Viking. And so big shout out if Fenix's watching this. So he said that he'll take us ice swimming, and he does it for other people who've gone through traumas and that, and it just builds them back up again. So it's his job, what he does. So I'm going to go ice swimming, guys. It's supposed to be good for your health. Right, let's look into Elon and Trump. Give me a true answer. You'll have to comment in the link whoever's gone ice swimming. Okay, we need a true answer on what the hell's going on with Trump and Elon. Oh, bless your mystery. Right, 7 cards on Elon and Trump. Yeah, my son Luke's done the ice bath in the garden, you know, like the ice thing where you sit in the garden. But I'm going to go out and do somewhere near the lake somewhere. Do the ice swimming. Right, okay. So money's definitely here on the cards. I think that... Let me pull all these cards out first. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. It is a stage. It's a definite stage in a way. But it's been brewing out also. You've got 2 very strong opinions there. Strong-minded men. Billionaires. Whatever, millionaires, billionaires, who like to have their own way. And it stands to reason it was going to happen at some point, wasn't it? It definitely was going to happen. So it's definitely a clash, because I'm looking at this as a healer if I was going to be reading Elon's cards, okay? I hope he's not watching this. He'll very freak out and get his bloody board off here. But I would say that he's got daddy troubles, Elon Musk, okay? And I think that for a short time, I think Trump filled a gap, made him feel important. It was all exciting because he was the president. He is the president of the United States. And there's a lack of something, even though Elon's a billionaire, like one of the richest men in the world. But I think that there was a problem with him having real friends or that type of thing. And I think that Trump can be very charming when he wants to be. Yeah, he can be. And I believe that he got on the right side of him and made Elon feel special. This is what I'm going back, what's happened. And I do believe that Elon's got a lot of problems. I do believe Elon does have a lot of problems. And he's admitted that he's been taking ketamine. Is that right? I don't know if that's true or not, but so I also feel that there's been a situation there where it's come to a head, and I believe that he's disagreed on stuff to do with the big bill or whatever it is that Trump's up to, and I think maybe it was. I think he's been a bit paid off for a little while. Now, there was a situation with him with a black eye. I'm going to pull some more cards out on that. So I think that I say this all the time. A lot of the time we are watching things and they're not in real time. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. So I'm thinking that he's kicked off well before it's come out. And I think he's been chewing on this and wanting to say something, because I think it's got a lot to do with his company as well. Maybe his company's took it like a hammering with everything what's happened with the tariffs. This is what I'm feeling. And because Trump and him got quite close, I think he expected that he could pull strings around Trump. You're dealing with Trump, yeah, you're not just dealing with anybody. That he thought that he could pull strings around Trump so that he could be like the president of the United States, sort of thing. He could put his two pennies in, type of thing. And I do feel that it's backfired, and he's realised that he can't get away with things with Trump. Trump's like been very sharp with some things with him about something, and he's kicked off. He's kicked off massively, and I do believe there was a struggle with some security guards or something where I do believe Elon got quite violent with Trump, or tried to be quite violent with people about Trump, and I do believe that they had to restrain him. This is what I believe. So what I feel what's going to happen is that Trump comes over all cool and calm with all of this, and obviously Elon's accused of him being on the Epstein list. My understanding is that his name could be on the list, but it doesn't mean that he's done anything. Now, I'm not trying to stick up for Trump here, but I believe that he definitely hasn't been to the island. So I do feel that he said that. I think they've seen the list, and I think he said that out of spite because he can't get his own way. He literally can't get his own way. I just think it's going to get worse, and I just think that I do get a very sort of uneasy feeling with Elon that it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well, and I get a very sort of edgy, wiry feeling. So, but if he carries on accusing Trump, Trump will sue him. He'll sue the arse off him. I'm telling you that now. So there's different timelines. Not everything is set in stone. But what I do get is that it is happening and it's real. But I've always said that there's a bigger thing going on than what's happening in 3D. And this thing, like some opposing forces, what's out there, like good force, bad force, which is coming through people because we're like puppets. And obviously Elon's really wide open. He's got a problem there. His energy, as I'm trying to look into him, he's all wiry. He's definitely drug addiction. He's living on the edge. He doesn't eat properly. He doesn't sleep properly. He's flipped his lid. He thought he could get his own way with Trump and that. And of course, he hasn't been putting the effort in. He's always been a very passionate man when it's come to his businesses. Like sleeping on the factory floor, he's trying to launch rockets and all of this. But he's going down. I'm getting a really strong feeling that Trump will make mincemeat out of him, I'm telling you that now. So Elon needs to be very, very careful here. There's a sort of a side to him that he's hurt. Elon's hurt because he really thought, I don't know what star sign, does anybody know what star sign Elon Musk is? But Elon feels really hurt because Trump made him feel really important and like being the older man, like that fatherly figure. And now he's been cut out. Trump's very good at doing that. Like, you know, if you go too far, he's cut him off type of thing, and it's really hurt him. But he's sitting there like really, like, what can I do next to hurt him? And I see a drink in his hand, and I don't know where Elon's living at the minute, but it looks like it's in one of them sort of places where he would normally stay, you know, when he's on the site. Them places that he designed, them homes. Is it them Tesla homes or something that he made and he designed? Or is that the Tesla cars? No, he's in some sort of, it looks a bit like a caravan, but it's not a caravan. So Elon's birthday is June the 28th. Interesting. So he's a Cancer. So the Cancerians are normally very sensitive. Geminis, I love Geminis. I think they're humorous. I mean, I'm going to be biased. My brother was a Gemini. You know, I always get on well with Geminis, you know. But at the same time, Geminis can be buggers, you know what I mean? And they can cut you like that. They can cut you, you know. And they can, you know, once they make their mind up, they're very, very stubborn. And I think that he's took so much. I think there's been a lot more said behind, this is what I'm feeling. There's been a lot more said behind the scenes than we know. And that's how he ended up getting the black eye. Not off Trump, but somebody maybe around Trump who did that to him. All right. Let's see if they're ever going to speak again. I don't think so, but let's have a look. And we're in the great spiritual awakening and we're healing old wounds. And I think that he's been massively distracted. I mean, he was at the rallies, wasn't he? Running up to before he was president. You know, he was living with him at one point. He was in Mar-a-Lago. He was on his premises. So Trump would have been showing off and being very lavish with him, and you know, very like, oh, come here, son, and you know, you can have this and you can have that, and there's just been, and Elon's got very carried away by this. Elon's took this literal because Elon doesn't have many friends. So there is a sense of hate there. It's vendetta, isn't it? It's a vendetta to get him back. Okay. So the list is jack shit to what's actually happened. There'll be people on that list, but that doesn't, people who maybe's gone to the island, but not everybody who's gone to the islands, you know, done what they've done. They might have just gone there to show off because they've been rich and famous. The list it's a lot more complex than what's on his list. That's all I'm saying. That's what I feel. Interesting. But Trump will sue him. He will sue him if he carries on doing this. So I don't think Elon's going to stop. I get a bitter end. This is what they're giving us. It's like all of a sudden it's all going to stop. I've always thought that about Trump as well, you know, but there's different timelines where it can change. But it's like something to do with all of this. If it carries on getting toxic and they carry on getting out of hand, it could end up in a very bitter end. A very bitter end. But Trump may be many things, but he's not a paedophile. That's for sure. All right, so I'm leaving that one there. It's upside down. That is a definite. So it's like they're being triggered. They're healing their own wounds. Why is Trump gone along with it? Because I don't think Trump knows many people, and probably they want to know him in his circle. But there's not many people that he would invite that close as what he did with Elon. I think it's just because it was Elon, wasn't it? Elon, like the richest man in the world, and throw rockets up into the sky and all of this, and very different. So I think it was exciting for Trump as well. There was some big argument. What took place before it was announced that they fell out, before it all come out. So there's something what's blown up. Maybe it's a week or so previous, and it's all blown up. All right, and Trump. I think there's been alcohol involved as well, and I think Trump hoped that he would have calmed down, but he didn't calm down, and it's just got out of hand. Definitely out of hand. Interesting. Elon. Let me pull some cards out on him. It's not a good mix, two alphas. But it's quite a sad situation actually when I like step out of it and I look at it. Like everything what's going on in this world, right? You've got kids getting blown up in Gaza, horrible things happening, and this has just been like in the headlines. It's been the most dramatic thing what's took over everything else. It's all about money. Follow the money. When they get that high within society, it's a bit like the Masonic lodge or whatever. You get to know secrets. You get to know what's going on really in the world. Okay. But Trump's the master at dealing with people like Elon. Do you know what I mean? He's a businessman from New York. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to allow Elon, who's come from where he's come from, to like pull him down or whatever. You know, even if he's got X. I'm telling you now, Trump will make mincemeat out of him. I think that the way Trump did it as well, he did it in a very cold and cut and calculating way. But I think that Trump just lost the plot. I think it was what Elon was saying. So Elon's very fiery. I look at him and he looks like he's got a lot of fire in his soul. As the Chinese would say, a lot of chi. There's a lot of chi there, and it's not flowing properly. So he's got a lot of fire. He needs that released. August will answer a lot on Elon. Hopefully things will calm down. The strangest thing is Elon's going to go off and do some, if he calms down and hopefully nothing dramatic happens. There's different timelines. And there's another man in the public eye who's also another rich billionaire. I don't know who else he is. Somebody that he's going to get in with and do big things with. And then I'm looking on where I've got Trump saying things on his social about the pair of them. And he's like going on and on. So I think it's ping pong here. And I think that Elon's learning that he can't get his own way by doing what he's doing. So he's going to try a different tactic. And it's actually going to get up Trump's nose what he's going to do. So I think he's going to befriend another friend type of thing. So them two have known each other before. I'm going to stop talking about this because I want to get onto other things. But them two have known each other before in a past life. Spiritually, that's what I'm feeling. And that's why it's hit old wounds, and it's wired them both up. I don't know if it is Bezos, I really don't, but Elon's going to get in with somebody else, and it's going to get right up Trump's nose. Bit jealousy there. So possibly watch for that, and that could be within the next I don't know if it's 3 weeks or 3 months. But this is, of course, if he doesn't drink himself into oblivion and take some illegal substance, and it's all over the bloody news that something's happened to him. You know. So he's to me, he's on the edge, and he needs to sort himself out. But I thought that when he was going to all the campaigns with him and jumping about with his black hat on, I thought he looks like hyper. You know what I mean? Like really hyper. Like he needs to. Yeah, it's an unhealed situation. That's what it is. So Peter Thiel is possible. Snow owl. Okay, Cookie, let me get a cup of tea. Will Elon cut Trump's X account? No, he wants retaliation. I'd be very surprised if he does that. There's attachments on Elon because he's wide open. If I was going to do a session on him, I would be clearing he's got attachments for whatever he's been taken. Do you know what I mean? Right. Let me look into... Let's get this out of the way. Melania, and I'll come away from the Trumps and I'll go into other things. How's Melania and Trump's marriage? Give me the true answer. God, I've just seen an awful flash. Something's about to massively kick off in Israel and also Gaza, so that's not out of the woods yet. And I've also just seen Putin's face, so we're going to be looking into the crystal ball soon. All the thing is, I want to know who's doing this. You know, is it the devil? What is it? Is it evil ETs? There's something. There's a bigger picture going on here. Okay, so she's very independent. I'm getting that song, Independent Woman. You know that song, Independent Woman? I think it's from Charlie's Angels, isn't it? So that's what she is. She's an independent woman. She likes to do her own thing. I'm sure I've looked into them before. She gets cross with him, doesn't she, when he's doing when he used to do his tweeting late at night, but now he's on Truth Social. But no, they're absolutely, they've had problems, but she's got no intention to leave him. No intention. She likes to do her own thing. I think they're very separate. I think a lot of it's show. And she likes her own space. But again, that's something that we go through individually when we're spiritually ascending. Maybe she snores, I really don't know, but she likes to sleep on her own. I think that's public knowledge, that, isn't it? But she's a very good mother. She just likes to spend time with her son, do her own thing. Is she into fashion stuff and stuff like that? She's actually the boss behind closed doors. They do have date nights and stuff like that, where they go out for meals and stuff like that. But he's very hyperactive. I won't be surprised if he's ADHD, Trump. He copes on about 2-3 hours sleep. Destiny's Child independent woman, yeah. So she's somebody who has a set bedtime, you know. She's the complete opposite to Trump. He's like, I don't know what he's like. He's just like rogue when it comes to his eating habits. And she's like really particular what she eats and that. So she eats very healthy. Do you know what I mean? And she can't change him. It's just the way he is. He's not going to change now. But I just think that I want to say like marriage of convenience, and a lot of it will be about money as well. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe that they're like best of friends. That's what they're showing me here. That's what they're showing us. I think she's good for him in lots of ways. And it's all about steering their son in the right direction and all that type of thing. So I'm just having another look here. She's very cautious who she mixes with. I think she may have a few trust issues. She's extremely sensitive. She's very much an empath. And if I can remember rightly, the last time we were in the White House, she didn't like to be there at the time. Because our little boy was a little boy, wasn't he? The first time around. And didn't she not make them like bless the place or exercise the place because it's full of spirit in the White House? She refused to stay there. So I feel she definitely picks up on stuff. Definitely. So sometimes she doesn't want to always go to important things with him. She likes just to be in a home, and it's not always with him. They're not always spending the full week together because he tosses and turns. I don't know if he's got something he does with his legs in bed. I don't know if he's got that nervous habit, what's it called? Restless leg syndrome. And he snores when he does sleep, and it irritates her. She lies there all prim and proper, and so she likes to sleep on her own, but they do spend time together. Singing feet. I don't know, but he's very hyper. But like I say, he's in his 70s. He's not going to change now, is he? They speak late at night together on like a private phone when they're not together. And it's always about, well, she calms him down. He tries to talk about what's happened. She says she doesn't want to know, and then they talk about the boy all the time. That's what I'm getting. Okay. This video, what's been going viral to do with Meghan before she was going into the place to have a child, a daughter. Apparently she was twerking and dancing, and something doesn't feel right with this, so I'm going to pull 7 cards out on this. Meghan and Harry. Yeah, it's so funny that, because it was the motherhood is the Empress. Look at it. Oh, thank you, Yelmac. Right, so we've got the Knight of Wands, which is saying it wasn't Harry. Right, okay? It was a trick. I don't know if it's CGI or it's somebody else pretending to be Meghan and Harry. We've got the judgment. Obviously, they've been judged online because of it. It's not true. It's not real. It's fake. And then you've got the squash pillow upper. Somebody who looks like her is pretending to be her. Audrey in the audience on YouTube, my ex snored so loud next door, couldn't sleep. He's only in his 30s. Let's have a look. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I don't believe that was Meghan. That was not a real baby. That was not a real baby bump. And I don't know about you guys, right? But I mean, for all the ladies out there in the audience who've had children, when you have gone in to have your child, the last thing you want to be doing is dancing like that. You know what I mean? Is the mic bothering you? The last thing, right, you need to be, you couldn't dance like that at all. No way. Sexy. There's no way if you feel sexy and you'd want to twerk in the room before you're giving birth. I'm sorry, like. I couldn't have danced like that heavily pregnant. The whole thing is fake. The whole damn thing is fake. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, I've heard that women dance to induce labour. I mean, I tried. I mean, Adam was a week late. I was a week late with Adam, and the midwife said, "Go home, have a curry, and run up and downstairs." You know, and I did that, and it still didn't shift him. But with my first pregnancy, I was that fat. Can you ever remember Count Duckula on the television and Nanny on Count Duckula? It was a cartoon in the UK. It might have been American anyway. But Nanny from Count Duckula, and it was like this character, and she was like that shape from neck downwards, just huge. And that's how I looked, and I couldn't even move. I was that huge. And the last thing I would have been doing is dancing like that. It's so funny. So there's a lot of trickery going on at the moment with CGI. Let's see if it's CGI or it was just a body double. Was it CGI? Yes. Yes. And that's where we're at the minute. So the artificial intelligence at the moment is so advanced, more than we know. Okay, and basically, even any one of us could be tricked in this audience tonight. I believe that there's a world that is a far more advanced that's been held back from where. And manipulations going on in the matrix. Manipulation. And because the matrix is breaking, you know, everything, it's just so false. Everything that you're watching on the news and everything, this, you know, in the mainstream media, it's so obvious. You know, they're not reporting on the real stuff, and the hand feeding way scraps of wrong information. But they also can manipulate us with putting stuff out what's not out in real time, but they can also make stuff up. Do you know what I mean? And because there's so much hate towards Meghan, is Rona's put here in the audience, I really do believe that we're all being played like a fiddle. I really do. I don't even believe that was Harry. Copies put together, and then put together in a video and put out. The world is a stage. What I do feel, what's going to happen with Meghan and Harry is there's going to be dramas to come between them. The real Meghan and Harry. It's going to ask the cards. They will split. Now that is a relationship what's not good behind the scenes. They will split. There will be problems. There is problems to come there. Possibly, we've got 6, we've got 4. Within the next 2, there could be big news coming out with them too. It won't last. It will not last, that relationship. I don't think he's particularly happy. I think he wants to come back, but then he also knows that he's paid off the establishment. You know, the establishment. And he can't have the protection that he had when he was in the establishment. But he misses that life. He misses that royal life. The privileges that he had that he doesn't get now. It's like he's been stripped back bare. I've got Lady Di here in spirit. It's interesting. And she's come through before. I've channeled her before, and she said that Harry always had the Spencer spark. So he was always different, you know. And she loves both her boys. She's definitely in the spirit world. I know there's rumours out there. People saying that she's going to come back and all of this crap, but she's in the spirit. And he's half the man that he should be. They had to meet for whatever reason, but there is problems there, and it's all going to come out. They're not in a happy marriage, and they are separate sometimes when they're sleeping because of that situation. How do I put this over without getting flagged? But it is a true situation which I feel is going on. I get concerned that there's been suicidal tendencies around him. The question is it his thoughts or is it outside attack? Because like I say, there is energy fields out there that we do not know. There is energy weaponry out there that we do not know, which is manipulating people. Watch for big news coming out with Harry. It'll be all across the news. And it'll be like, what's going to become and where's he going to go and all of this. Watch for it to happen. Okay. But you're looking at a broken man there. A broken man because of the loss of his mother. And a lot of damage. And you cannot paint over them cracks. They always come back if you don't heal them. And I don't care how much money he's had or where the privileged life he's had growing up in the royal family, he never got the proper help he needed. Because Harry being Harry, he wouldn't probably talk about it. All the money in the world sometimes can't help. Right, a few more things I need to look into here. I hope you are enjoying this. I've got a Geordie accent, yes. Not a very Geordie accent. I could bring Adam on and you wouldn't understand him. He's really broad Geordie. Both my sons are. Especially Adam. Right. What's going to come? I don't know if anybody's seen anything on the news recently. Right, so you've got this Freedom Flotilla boat, which I said there was going to be big news with a boat. And it was going to be all across the news. But it's only on certain news. You've got to go looking for it. It's not like really on much mainstream news. With 12 activists on, and one of them is Greta Thunberg. Let's see what's happening. And the Israel forces are threatening to take them down and stop them going there with this aid. Israel said that they're going to arrest all the crew. But this did happen in 2010, and there was some activists got taken out. It's an awful situation, but that's what happened. So you've got, over here, you've got the BBC, the ITV, the Channel 4 News, Sky News, and none of them are mentioning it. So I'm going to see what's to become of this Freedom Flotilla boat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. 7 cards. They also threatened to arrest her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's been some people in the limelight who've said horrible things about her. But at the end of the day, she's on a roll. You know, she's not going to be somebody who's just going to sit there and like a young kid of her age and want to go clubbing, and she's on a roll. She's an activist, just, and she feels strongly in her head, in her heart, that she wants to go with these activists to take this baby milk and all the aid, that it's wrong, what's happening. And it's part of her life's mission. Okay. I really do believe if anything happened to Greta or her crew, I actually do think it's not going to look good, is it? It's not going to look good. They're going to try and stop them. I've just had this vision of her and she's in handcuffs. So it's really awful, this. I think they're going to get arrested, or they're going to be detained, but they're going to get it to them somehow. I'm hoping that I'm right and that nothing happens to them, you know what I mean? Because I think that looks really awfully bad on the Israeli side, okay? She's going to go on and write a lot of books. There is angels protecting that ship tonight. I like what Joyce has put there, right? And that's so nice. So she's put here, I don't like Greta, but I hope she gets the AIDS to the babies. Doesn't matter what you think of her. At the end of the day, there's a good cause going on here. The lad on the ship with her, he's really interesting. If you do get the chance, you can follow it. It's all on Instagram and that. I don't know where he's from, but they all seem really passionate what they want to do. But there's angels, no matter what you think of her, and I know there's been some horrible people out there, and people in the limelight have said horrible things about her, but there's angels protecting that boat as we speak tonight. I'm getting a very holy spirit with it, holy energy. It's horrible. So hopefully they'll come out of this alive, which I feel they will, but there is such thing as it's very dodgy at the minute with timelines, God forbid if anything did happen to her, there'll be absolute hell on. Do you know what I mean? But I can see her going on and writing books when she's older. She's going to meet a guy, I don't know if she's met him already. Is Greta both ways, or is she a bit one way or the other? I'm not so sure, but maybe she's just very fluid. But I can see her meeting this man, and I don't know if she's connected with him on the boat, or she's going to meet him and he's another activist. Is the sound gone? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Yeah. So, she's going to fall in love. Because we're all on our individual journeys, and what my guides keep saying is that we have to do the inner work. And we have to, and through this, the younger generation are meeting their soulmates younger and their twin souls. I'm going to do a video on it one day, right? Might do a live on it. But she's going to, this is what we do. We meet our soul family as we're going through our ascension, and we're doing our true thing. And her true path is to do what she does. If we all were doing the same, it would be horrible, like robots. It would be like that film that I talk about all the time. you know that film there, Welcome to the Island? You know that film I've talked about before? It's called The Island. And life shouldn't be like that. We're here all to do what we need to do. And so by doing your what you're supposed to do is you're living your true path. And when you do that, you're going to flow. You're in flow then, and then you meet, even if it's dangerous situations. But when you're doing what you truly need to do, then you will meet your right soul family. And I think she's going to meet somebody. I really do. Okay, so I see, like, I've got another vision of, like, sort of, there could be, they'll try and detain it, but then it'll get through. It's just going to look bad on their behalf if they do that. But yeah, they're going to be detained. It's a horrible, sad situation. And everything's about money and greed. This is not about the Israel people. The Israel people are beautiful people. This is not about the Holy Land. This is about rich sociopaths who are running our countries, who are playing us all like fiddles. Big men with big bombs who are just trying to show off. And it's all about their male egos. And it's we as the people which are the ones who are suffering through it all. Do you know what I mean? But what he's doing, Benjamin Netanyahu, is war crimes. It's war crimes. The time is up. Exactly what Mrs. Luciani's put here. The time is up. There's a woman, and she's Israeli, I don't know if she's a reporter or some speaker woman. Something's going to happen to him as well, Netanyahu. I don't know what it is, but anyway. But she's going to go out there and she's going to make an announcement. And it's at that point everything will change. She's making the announcement just after everything changes. But there's a man from the Middle East, a man with a cloth on his head, will come forth and change this. But don't think for 1 minute that our Prime Minister and the ones running our country are all goody-goody two-shoes. Because where they're pulling Netanyahu down or taking the side of Gaza, they're also funding the Israeli army. They're funding them. So let's get into... So yeah, it's going to be quite a one over the next couple of days. I think it's going to get interesting. Somebody, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I hope somebody may get hurt, but it'll be okay. I get Australia with her as well, and I don't know why. So maybe she's going to end up over there at some point. But I don't know why she triggers so many people. She triggers so many people. And all really she wants is just a clean planet and a planet for the future. But that seems to upset a lot of people. Some people who don't agree with the policies or they think it's all woke. It's just... She's living a true path. And my guides keep saying that's what we all need to do. We all need to be living our true path. Okay. Our Prime Minister. And then I'm going to get into the crystal ball. Kiastama. We've got a jumper. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got he's gonna exit quickly. There's a lot of stuff to come out about this man. So the recent stuff that we've had out. I mean, it's not been on news, you know, but they're not going to put that on news. What's been going about on social media is that Ukraine rent boys, that type of thing, okay, and something to do with was the connections with his house fire. Okay, so we've got Kiastama. So we've got him as the King of Cups. There he is. And I'm telling you now, I mean, he's a lord. There's no way he's a typical Labour. There's not much red on him there. Red's Labour over here, mind. He's more blue, actually, isn't he? He's more blue than red. And that's his wife. She's the Queen of Swords. And then we've got a young boy here. A young boy in the middle. And I know he's got his son, but I'm not getting that. That's low courts. So he's like human rights, isn't he? Like, let me have a look. I've got to get this right. I'm not just going to go with what anybody else is saying. Okay, so there's something hidden about his personal life. There is something. Interesting. How do I put this over? Because I'm on YouTube and I've got to be so careful what I'm saying. Head all over to Twitch now. I would say, have you ever seen that film Eyes Wide Shut? And you've got, I think it's got Tom Cruise in it, hasn't it? And they all go there with their masks on, and then they're in this sort of this big castle place, and then they're all doing it. You know what I mean? They're like all at it. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting a situation here where I'm being shown that there's another side to him that we do not know. There's another side to him that we do not know. And it's definitely swinging both ways, should I say. My good God. Right, so we've got Upside Down Devil. Yeah, Nicole Kidman's in it, isn't she? Okay, so we've got the Devil card. So I would say that there's definitely something going on there. Again, I feel there was threats possibly behind the scenes, and I think that maybe it's police investigations, that type of thing, rituals, and it's all being kept hush-hush. And then, of course, this young man's done what he's done to fight back. Yeah? Who are we talking about? We're talking about the leader of the UK. So I would say that there's definitely a flamboyant side that we do not know. There's a flamboyant side that we do not know about him. So there's been a vendetta, and I do believe this is why there was fires in his place or something, or his property. And there was talks of it being with rent boys, that type of thing. And it does look like it could be possible. Will it ever come out? Possibly not. Because people in high places just cover up and they just hide whatever they have to hide. Will there be a civil arrest? This is the last thing I want to ask. Because we've just had, recently, we've had the National Guards and the federal ICE agents over in LA. No, Pam. It was more to do with somebody that he wasn't connected with. Keir Starmer. There will be more civil arrests. So I feel what's happening in LA is just the tip of the iceberg to what's to come. Everything's like a show. Everything's like a show there. Just going to leave that for now. But to do with Keir Starmer, I just think it's all like a show. But like I say, he's not going to be in for much longer. The problem we've got is, but who would we have replacing? Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot more tit for tat to come with the Tory party are going to get one over on Keir Starmer, and then it's going to be ping pong, and then you've got the other lot, what they're called, the other lot coming in. But I just think it's just going to get to a stage where he's going to have to resign or step down. But I want to say that the Tories could at some point get back in again. One more thing I need to say to you. There'll be an old leader that will come back and may rise again. There will be an old leader that will come back and may rise again. I'm being given that for the UK. So what's been taking place in LA, I feel there's more civil arrests to come. So we're going to have more kickoffs in France, the UK. Like I say, it's just going to get worse. So I'm going to get my crystal ball. It's the matrix breaking, basically. Literally everything's breaking down. Something far bigger is coming, far bigger than what we had with the COVID. It's on another scale. It's on another level. And they're going to try and restrict humanity, and it's going to backfire. So I predict tonight that there will be some more civil arrests, more than we've had with the LA thing, because that's to do with illegal immigrants, isn't it? That's what they were trying to do. This is on a different level, this. Just need to watch this space. It's the calm before the storm. I know there's already been riots in France, but I feel there's more to come. The more I look into this and the more that I go down that rabbit hole, I do believe, I really, really do believe that the media is part of the beast. I really, really do believe that. Remember, everything that we're witnessing now is not in real time. It's not. It's not in real time. So I'm just going to have a few minutes. We need to keep our vibes high, and we need to do our own inner work. Are you enjoying it? Okie dokie. So she's been in the garden all day. It's been raining on and off over here all day, like, so, but it's definitely been in the garden. The skies don't feel right at the moment. The skies don't feel right. We're not having much sun at the moment over here in the UK, but then we never do get much in the north anyway. All right, let's wait for it to heal, haze over. Okay. May peace be with you all. Let's see what the looking glass has to say tonight. Okay. There will be big announcements. How we had what happened with the virus. There's something else coming. And one of the most powerful words that we can say is the word no. Right? The word no. The 10th's going to bring big news in around globally. I'm being given the fall of the cabal. That's what I'm being given. So even though it doesn't look very good at the minute and a lot of nasty things are happening, it doesn't look very good in the world, does it? It's actually, there is a big cleanup that is happening. And you've got to trust the process. You really, really do. Tonight, I am being given that Israel will be moved. Now, this is not something that I say to wind people up. This is just what I'm being given, all right? Tonight, I have been given that Israel will be moved. And go above everything what's happening at the minute. You've got like parts of media which are trying to divide away and put that hatred out. But at the end of it, God's got this. Do you know what I mean? God's looking after both sides. But God is very angry at the moment. You know, there's going to be extreme weather. There's going to be extreme weather, what's going to take place. You know, Mother Gaia is rumbling. She's angry. She's not happy the way man has been going on. It's about greed. There is an AI world what's taken over. Right underneath our noses. It's been creeping up for a while. And if they haven't got your face recognition, they've got your fingerprints, they've got something. But we're all being tracked. Each and every one of us. We're all walking cyborgs. We really, really are. If you've got one of these, they're tracking you. And I've always said that it's not the technology what's the problem, it's who's been behind the technology. So it's like they're going to spring something out of the hat because other things hasn't worked for them. Like the virus didn't work. So they're going to try something else. So what I'm being shown here is that there's direct energy weaponry. But it's going to cut off communications. We must prep. We must prep. And I'm not saying this to frighten anybody or fear-monger anybody. It's just common sense. I mean, our government's put an announcement out anyway that we need to prep. So it's nothing, I'm not saying what's not already out there on the news. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe that even if you've just got 3 months worth of something, just to protect yourself. Time is definitely speeding up. But then again, we've been controlled by numbers. So I think that once you start to ascend, we come out of linear time and we start to feel different anyway. We start to feel Well, you feel like you're trudging in trickle, don't you? Like you're trudging and you're quicksand or you're walking on the moon. Like you can't go fast enough. It's really weird. You get up in the morning, you blink, and then it's 3 o'clock. You're thinking, where's the time gone? So everything on this planet is ruled and controlled by numbers. There's going to be a lot of sightings. There's going to be more problems to do with air traffic. And I do see a problem with a plane. I'm going to give some numbers here. And these are going to relate with big dates coming out here. I'm getting 5, 10, 25, 13, 16 and 4. Problems to do with air traffic or air traffic control, or there's something to do with another plane. Not 1 but 2, possibly 3. I'm also seeing a towering inferno. A towering inferno. A man, he's got a cloak on. He looks Arabic. I've had this vision before, and it always reminds us of the movie The Three Kings. Has anybody seen that? Damn good movie. And it's all about Saddam Hussein's gold and all of that. Hidden the gold. There's something like that going on, but it's just something I can't put my finger on. Funding, problems, shocks to come out, great big shocks coming out to do with the UK government. Big shocks to come. There is something about everything's just going to stop, and I've talked about this before. 11's been coming, it's coming to us in 7 and 14. Okay? And number 6. Which 6 could be June. Okay? Sorry, I can't read your comments when I'm doing this. We must prep. Everything's just going to go dark. The system's going to go down, and we're not going to even know what time it is. I'm not saying this is global. This is just what I'm being shown. This could be intermittent parts of the world where everything's just going off. But it's going to cause a problem. And it's going to affect the stock market. But at that point, then everything's going to come back on again. Well, it's only going to be off a short time, and that's going to be the time they're going to switch it over into the new financial system. But also there's going to be a bounce up, and people who've invested in coin what's not worth anything, there's going to be a massive, huge boost. It's just another mark of the beast, really. It's the new system. But what we do not know is, what lies ahead is, conditions comes in with this new system. And they're going to be talking about chips or trying to get to do something. And that's going to be the kickoff. That's going to be the kickoff. So either you go into this grid or you don't. But there's such thing as free will. What I'm being shown here is that there is a bigger picture going on than the leaders and all of that. And we've got artificial intelligence, but it's also a lot more far advanced than we know. And I'm also getting a very evil extraterrestrial energy. I can't put my finger on it. I really, really can't. It's maybe they've been here a long time, and they are trying to then manipulate. We're now because they drip feed you. They drip feed with the latest technology, the latest iPhones, the latest gadgets every year. And it's all about the money. But now they know they're running out of time. We're going into New Earth. They have to bring what up to date. They have to bring what up to date. And it could be something that we might not be able to cope with. And I'm not trying to sound condescending here or anything, but if you woke up one morning and then there's literally it's all out in the open and there's starships flying around and, you know, a lot of people aren't going to be able to take that. So they're going to create an event to bring it in. I've always said that they're going to bring the technology in first, the futuristic technology. And I'm still saying it. 10 years from now, you will not recognise this planet. It's going to be far more advanced than we know. But there's still this fact that it's not all going to be about where the good extraterrestrials are coming in and we're skipping through the daisy fields, and it's not like that. There's still evil there. There's still this presence, this essence of evil. And we are in biblical times on earth. I've never told you this before, and I'm going to tell you this now. Let me get a tea. When I was a young woman, I was living in a council house. I had it lovely. It was a Dutch bungalow, and so you could picture it like the kids were upstairs. It was a house on 3 levels, and I was downstairs I had made the dining room into my bedroom. So I was on the ground floor, and it always had a cool presence about it in this room. Little did I know that it was built over the old mine shafts. So in the northeast of England at the turn of the century, you had the Great Pit disaster. You can actually Google about this. The mine shafts, and they came up around here, this area as well, where I live now. And so it was a case where they sent women and children and ponies down into the mines in the Great Pit disaster, and a lot of people died. So it's a lot of haunted land around this area, and plus you've got the Roman centurions, you know. You've got all sorts going on around here. It's a little bit like Skinwalker's Ranch. So I don't live far from Hadrian's Wall. So anyway, to cut a long story short, there's also a lot of extraterrestrial energy and a lot of sightings, and people have had some crazy sightings. I'm one of them, right? And I've had contact. But anyway, this night I had gone to bed and I was very uneasy. But I went to bed and I went to sleep and I was just dozing off. I had my book in my hand and I was dozing off. This is long before the internet, you know. You know, when times were a lot easier. Anyway, I was in this lovely sleep, and the next thing I heard this presence in the room, and I woke up, and there was 2 grey beings. I hate talking about this because I don't want to bring it in, but this is the only one of the only negative things I've ever had happen to us. And they did try to come back again a few years later, but that's another story. Anyway, they were floating over the top of my bed. They weren't very big. And their eyes were black. And they were trying to abduct us and pull us through the wall. And I couldn't move. I literally could not move. So the only thing I could do was say the Lord's Prayer, but I couldn't speak, so I was saying it in my mind. And as I was staring at them, I was saying it back in my mind, the Lord's Prayer. And as I said it, they weakened and they left and shot back through the wall. That is no word of a lie, okay? So I believe the Lord's Prayer is a lot more powerful than we will ever know. But my understanding is that they're no different to us, right? So, but these beings that were trying to abduct us were evil, right? They were on a dark agenda. So there is something a lot more powerful than whatever's going on this planet. So I believe a lot of these beings, these negative beings, are connected also to do with government agencies as well. So go on another 10 years and I'm here in this house, okay, which is a lot of haunted land, and I'm lying in bed, and I've got my dogs. I've got my 2 Jack Russells, and I don't know if probably some of you would have heard Oliver. He was always snoring, but he would have slept through Armageddon. He was a very lazy boy, Jack Russell. But my little Sissy, she was Gypsy. We called her Sissy. She was like really, really like a fighter kind of dog. Okay. Anyway, so I was lying in bed, and it was about 2:00 in the morning, and again I was reading in bed. And the next thing, I just had this overwhelming feeling of fear. I can't even. Now, the boys were out. The boys were camping. I was in the house on my own with the dogs. My dog was snarling. She was shaking. She was going off it. Okay, but I knew that it was fear with her as well. And then Oliver, my other dog, which was like Brian or Family Guy, was sitting there shaking. You know, he was a right wuss. And all I know is that I could see them. They came back, and they were down my side alleyway of the house, and one of them jumped on the roof. Right? So again, this time I was whispering the Lord's Prayer, and they went. So, and that's been the only other really, there's been other sinning situations, but they've been the most powerful ones where I've used the Lord's Prayer. So what I'm saying to you is that there is a demonic intelligence working within this system, which is it's got a great plan. So what I want to say to you is that I'm not saying turn Christian, but I know for a fact that prayer worked for me. And I know for a fact, whatever you believe in, your prayer or your faith will work. Okay? But I just know that they're going to try something to take away in so they can control away. Because the last time they tried this, it failed. Does that make sense? The last operation failed because they couldn't get everybody in on the last operation. So they're going to try something else. So they're going to try to, I hate the same, but to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They're going to create this event to bring we're up to date. But where I believe right at the top of this Illuminati ladder, there is good beings and bad beings working together to bring we're up to date. But the baddies are still trying. They're trying all their best to try to control it. And unfortunately, some people will take the Kool-Aid. But not everybody will. Not everybody will. So it's your call, your sovereignty. What I want to say to you is, you have the power, right? But as I look on, and I've said this before, Earth will be in 3 sections. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. You're going to have New Earth. You're going to have people who are living freely. Some of them may use some of the artificial intelligence, but they're living freely and they're living off grid. Everything is all sort of run by the sun. But we haven't just got 1 sun, we've got 2. They tried to kill one. I need to do a big night on this, right? They tried to kill one of us, to dim one of our suns off, bring an artificial one in. But we've actually got 2 suns, and they're going to bring them. It's all going to come back. Okay, they've got planets that they're hiding away from. Where? I mean, if you really want to go down the woo-woo, I really do believe that we're not even on planet Earth. I've said this before. I believe Mars is Earth and Earth is Mars. And what they do is every 1,000 years, they kill what off, right? Create an event, And we're past that Mayan calendar now because they can't do that anymore. And then they take we wherever and put we somewhere else, wipe our minds, start we again. And we're actually in the 9th gate. We're in the 9th gate now, the 9th earth gate. We're coming into 9th earth gate. And what I do believe is that they're panicking, so they know that they have to try to make way so they can control way. But it's not that the evil agenda's not going to work in the end. God's got a big plan on this. Because what's going to happen is, into the future, I'm going to now take you. Let's leap forward 20 years, 30 years from now. Okay? You're going to have people saying, oh, my neighbour's in the crystal grid. But I'm in New Earth, and I'm really, I'm fine. I'm not saying it's going to be called New Earth, but, we're fine. We've got more organic vegetables, but my neighbour, she's got all the, the high, this, that, and the other, and teleporting and doing all of this, but we just do it naturally. Then you've got the continents are going to look different because there's a lot of crazy weather to come, and they're going to start to do floating cities. I predict floating cities. So there's going to be some good's going to come from it, but there's going to be a lot of people who are on the New Earth. They're going to be living on land. A lot of this crystal grid, they're going to be floating cities and all of this type of thing. Underwater cities. It's all there now. It's all hidden from where. Do you know that? There's actually a privileged few humans who are living amongst these beings underneath the seabed in great cities. It's all going on. It's all going on out there in Mars. It's all happening. And then you've got the extraterrestrials, some of them, not all of them, which will be here. Not all of them can live here, but some of them will be able to be, and some of them are integrated and walking amongst us now anyway. I do believe that. So you're not going to be able to eliminate all the evil, but we're going to eventually, it'll mellow out its teething problems, and it will sort itself out. But unfortunately, we could face a WAR situation before we get there. What a time to be alive, guys. What a time to be alive. The little children of New Earth now, they're ready for this new world. They're so highly advanced. The crystal children, the rainbow children, our grandchildren. Expect crazy events. If there is, and I'm not saying this is definite, it's one of the things that the evil agenda have up their sleeve. If there is a sort of a Mars attack type of thing or a alien invasion, it will be false. It will be false. Because they're already bloody here. But there's fewer far between, and they're weakening. They're definitely weakening. But where you've got the evil, you've also got the light. It is a holy war that we are in. Italy will take a hit because I keep getting the butt of Italy. There is crazy earthquakes to come in. But yeah. I'm going to say something here, and it's quite creepy and dark. I need to look into it further, but it's coming through really, really strong. Jesus Christ. We are not the top of the food chain. So it's quite creepy, that, isn't it? So many people going missing. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? there will be massive investigations into the food chain. That will be the biggest thing. Once they realise that the goodies get a hand of this, and then they realise that they have to ban the plastic, there'll be new materials what's going to be brought in from the good extraterrestrials. New materials for buildings, which is going to be far better, and it's going to protect us, from all sorts of storms and keep us warm in the winter, that type of thing. Okay. The pound. It's either going to become the most... They're still working on this. There's different timelines. The pound's either going to become the most powerful, dominant coin, or it's going to fall and go in with the euro. My good God. Because they've got this new trade bridge that they're going to bring in. Even Donald Trump's part of the matrix, because he's been sort of used, but then it's his life path that he assigned, that he would come here to do this. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's a lot of change to come. Economy. It's possible barefoot 6'6". What's that mean? Okay, so when you are all listening to this, right, and you are interested in all this extraterrestrial stuff, we are the hybrids. We are labelled as humans, yeah? But I don't believe for 1 minute that we've all come from monkeys. They can spew off and tell way and whatever, but I do not believe it at all right? I believe that there's no way we can all come from monkeys, and there's evidence of this. I've talked about this before, you've got Neanderthal man, isn't it, where he's got the great big fat brow and you can look at the sun, and he's stooped over, and there's been skeletons found of that, and then all of a sudden we're upright with a different shaped skull and we can't look at the sun. Where's the in-between bit? Because we were brought here. We were brought here from Earth. Earth is Mars, Mars is Earth. Like an 8 on its side, and that energy that they've controlled we're with is broken. We've done that. We've done that with the ascension, because everything's frequencies, everything's energies. Earth is Mars, Mars is Earth. It's gonna get crazy. So what I'm saying to you is we are past the Mayan calendar. So there's gonna be events, what's gonna take place. But also you've got the bigger picture, God, Gaia, Mother Gaia, she is angry. She's getting affected. There will be earthquakes, tsunamis, Indian Ocean, and something about the Caribbean. Yes, Chrissy, yes. We are actually in 5th dimension now. You can't stay in it, but we are hitting heights well beyond that. Well beyond that. So keep meditating. Try to be grounded, be in nature when you can. Go for a walk. If you live in the city, that's fine. Just still go for a walk. Don't try and be in front of the computer too much, because it's not good for you. And get shungite on you. Because what's taking place with the energy weaponry and the different G's out there, and the radiation, all of this strange stuff, what's affecting you, It can't get to you if you've got shungite on, because it can't get through it. So wear it. Wear it. Let's see if there's anything good coming in. I'm getting New York here tonight. Please, Frank Sinatra. Yeah, the pound's going to change. Isn't that weird? The lion's going to... That doesn't make sense. The lion's going to go in with the bear. But the bear's Russia, isn't it? The fall of Putin and the rise of the new empress. The fall of Putin and the rise of the new empress. She's got blonde hair. The letter M. The letter M will bring everything down around Ukraine and Russia. The letter M. Remember that, and I'm going to leave that one with you. It's fading out now. Expect the unexpected. Watch the skies, guys. But a lot of these drones, because getting back to the Freedom Flotilla, if you follow it, right, the activists on this boat in the middle of the sea, they've been followed by drones. The drones are connected with the governments. The drones, okay? Because we have technology far more advanced than we would ever know. A bit like in the 60s, if we could transport back to the 60s, and you might see a stealth and thinking it was a UFO, but it was really secret military what was flying a stealth. I'm going to leave that one with you. Take care. God bless wherever you all are around the world. We've got Zizi, my cat. She's hanging off the door. Take care. God bless wherever you all are around the world. And I'll see you again soon. May the force be with you all, guys. We are the superhumans. We are the multi-dimensional superhumans. How cool is that? We are coming into our own power. Do the inner work. Do the inner work. And say no if you don't want to do something. It's going to be your most powerful word between now and 2026. It's biblical, guys. Absolutely biblical. There's a lot to be said when I say to it all that we are in bedrock and we are the Flintstones. Because we are. We really are. But we are the ones that are going to put them all in their place. You know, we are here for a reason. Well, keep your eyes open, you know, and just watch who you pass in the streets. We're not just looking at extraterrestrials. We're looking at angels and demons, and we're looking at clones. We're looking at CGI. I think anything is possible, just exactly like the film The Matrix. And I'm going to leave that one with you. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you again soon. Bye now. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, yes.